Hi guys, Ann here, and today we have a get ready with me as I talk, because you know I'm a talker, and I want to share some story times and also really focus on mental health. So if you want to see me do this, look, and also talk about mental health, some story times, things that has happened to me in the past that I can't forgive myself. Trigger warning, very quickly, we do talk about that word right there. So, yeah, if that is something that you're interested in, then keep on watching. Okay, so I figured why not use the Jaclyn Hill palette. This is with the Morphe. This is her very first palette. This is the original palette. And then as soon as this was out, that released, then they came with another one, the same thing, but the packaging was different. You guys remember that? So this is the original one. That's why it looks like this, because no matter what I do, I cannot get the makeup off. So I wanted to come on here and talk, you know. I have been thinking about this for a while, about mental illness and about mental health. And like depression, basically more depression, right? I have said this before. I have dealt with depression my whole life, you know, when I was a kid, but more so as an adult, right? I had a lot of trauma and I've been through a lot of things in my life that I don't know. And now, and I can't even use that as an excuse, because there are days that like, nothing's wrong. My bills are paid. My kids are healthy. You know, my husband is healthy. And I just wake up and I'm depressed. Or there are times that I wake up fine and then later on the day I get depressed and I don't want to do anything. I want to lay on the couch and watch TV or lay in the bed or not get dressed, or I need to film, but I don't have that motivation to get up and get dressed. Put my makeup on. If I was already dressed and my makeup on, then yeah, it's easy to film because I enjoy filming. But to get to that point, right? So a lot of times when I get very depressed, like I shut down. I don't want to talk to anybody. Just leave me alone. Do you know what I mean? And so I understand a little bit about depression. And then, you know, I seen the article of, I want to make sure I have her name right. Cheslie Kryst. She was a former Miss USA from North Carolina, and she committed suicide. She jumped off, I don't know if it was 29 or 30-story building. She did leave a note, and she left everything to her mother.
Friends are mourning the death today of former Miss USA Cheslie Kryst, who apparently jumped from a New York City high-rise. Miss Kryst lived in Midtown Manhattan and was last seen up on the 29th floor terrace. She was crowned Miss USA back in 2019, went on to become an attorney who fought to reform America's justice system. The 30-year-old was also a correspondent for the show Extra. She reportedly left a note, leaving everything she had to her mother, but did not express a motive for taking her own life.
And a lot of people that knew her said, they're shocked. I mean, she had just did, I guess, an interview with Denzel Washington and seemed fine. All her friends are saying she was the light. You know, they never thought anything was even wrong or she would ever do this. But I know from experience, when you are going through depression, you become a very good actress. Okay, Ann, work and talk, because you guys know I can babble and I won't be putting any makeup on. It is Saturday night. Let me see what time it is. Let me look. Let me get comfortable here. All right, I'm just going to go in with this shade right here and use it kind of like a transition. So, and really quickly, I get very sloppy with my eyeshadow. I don't care how it looks, if it's over here or under here, because then I take a makeup wipe and I clean it up, okay? It'll look good towards the end. Anyway, and so, yeah, and then, you know, you just, so much people, these children, like, if women, if they break up with, if their boyfriend breaks up with them, they think it's the end of the world, and just in general, depression in general, and ever since COVID hit, I mean, people's lives have changed, you know, it really affected a lot of people, it really has, you know, even myself, you know? This is a nice color. I don't know if I told you already, but every time, like, I don't know what I want to do, I really go into this palette. I really do enjoy this palette. If Morphe would have kept this formula, I think Morphe would do really, really well, you know? All right, now I'm just going to go in with these two shades right here. I'm going to mix them in and just kind of deepen up the transition a little bit. Let me know down below if you guys, do you guys deal with depression? You know, if you do, how are you? Like, I have a friend, when she has her anxiety and stuff, she shuts down. Then I have another friend who suffers from depression, but she's the type, she wants to talk. You know, I'm the type, I don't want to talk to anybody. Just leave me alone. Let me watch my animal videos. I enjoy the funny animal videos and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't even want to see my kids. It's like that. You know what I mean? This is like an old Juvia's Place brush. It has like a wooden handle. I'm not sure if they still sell this, but these brushes are like soft, but they're also dense, and they help with that, like, to help blend that line right there. It came in like a set of 5. So I wanted to share some stories with you guys, you know, about people that suffer from depression or mental health in general, you know, about checking on them and different things. And I'm going to, this is a trigger warning. I will talk about my own attempt and different things. And but I want to share a story that I shared a few years ago with a very good friend, and what had happened, and the drastic mistake I made, and I still to this day cannot forgive myself. All right, and I gotta learn to keep working and talking, but you know, I get into this stuff. All right, I'm gonna go, I almost hit pan in this one right here, so I'm gonna go in here. This is probably my favorite shade in the whole palette, and I'm going in with like a smaller brush. So my first son, okay, he'll be 27 this year, but he was a baby, maybe about a year old. So I was 18 when I got pregnant, 19 when I had him. So I had to be about 20, 21, no older than 21. And I was still with the father. Now, my son's father and this guy, we'll call him Melvin. That's not his real name, but we'll just say Melvin. And so Melvin and my son's father were first cousins. Okay, and me and Melvin worked together at Walmart. Okay, so it's upsetting. I gotta keep, you know, because I know the outcome, and it's upsetting. Anyway, and so because of me and Melvin worked together, and he was related to my son. So he's my son's father's first cousin, so it'd be my son's second cousin. We just always said we were related. We were cousins. So we weren't blood related, but we told everybody we were cousins, right? At the Walmart and stuff. Now, Melvin was a very good looking guy. He was like caramel complected, like the same complexion as my daughter. He had like greenish eyes, really nice hair, like curly, you know, and a lot of girls, oh my God, they would like, I mean, he can get anybody he wanted, you know? He was very tall. He was like about 6'2", I don't know, about 200 pounds, but muscle, you know? He was just a very good looking guy. Now, I was never like attracted to him that way because I looked at him like a brother, you know? But I knew he was attractive, absolutely. And, but he was married, and he had a daughter. The daughter, I'm sorry. It was a stepdaughter, his wife's daughter. She was 14 at the time. Now, there's a reason why I'm saying it was a stepdaughter, you know, because he looked at her. He had no children. He looked at her like that was his daughter. But I'm telling you that you'll understand as the story goes on. Now, like I said, so he was very good looking. And, of course, he cheated on her with a lot of different women and stuff like that. And I remember I used to say to him, well, what are you going to do if your wife finds out? He would say, oh, she's never going to leave me. She won't leave me. He had this big, like, ego, you know, he's very conceited. And I was like, you never know. He's like, oh, she'll never leave me, you know? Well, anyway, she had found out that he was cheating on her, and she kicked him out. And I remember he was so depressed. She wouldn't take his phone calls. She wouldn't talk to him. He got his own little like apartment, like a little like efficiency apartment, you know. But yeah, the daughter would come there and see him and stuff, but she didn't want nothing to do with him. She was just very hurt that she found out he was cheating on her and stuff like that. So every day, or he would call me, you know, this was before we had cell phones. We just had the beepers, remember, you know? And it's like I got tired of hearing about it, you know, because that's all he did. And I kept saying, what's your fault? I kept telling you, you know. So anyway, let me tell you what his wife did. So now this is why I'm saying it was a stepdaughter. So his wife called the daughter's father. He lived in another state and always wanted to get back with her, but she married Melvin and, you know, all that. So she calls the girl's biological father, and he comes down to see her. Okay, so she arranged this pretty good. She was in the bed with him. Well, she knew, she planned it. She tells him, come over this time. I don't know, let's say it's 5, 6 o'clock at night. I don't know, we'll just say, right? I do remember it was a Friday night. And she was like, come over, you know, we can talk. But she planned it to where she was sleeping with her daughter's father. So that way when Melvin came in, he would catch them in the bed together, kind of like to give him a taste of his own medicine, right? Well, he beat that guy up so bad with the bat and everything else. And then, of course, he left. He did not put his hands on his wife, and he left. And he was so hurt and emotional. And I remember he would call me on the house phone, you know, so we had landlines and all that kind of stuff. And then I remember the next day on Saturday, we had to go to work, and he was like literally crying with tears in his eyes. You know, he was just so hurt because his wife, he was with his wife for a long time. I mean, his daughter was like maybe 6 months old, not even a year old when they got together. And, you know, he just, I don't know. Sometimes you don't realize how it's going to affect you until it happens, right? And I kept saying, Melvin, I told you, I told you. Now, even though I thought that issue was effed up, as a woman, I get it. I understood why she did it, okay? Anyway, he leaves work early because he just couldn't handle it. He was just going through a lot. And then I remember that night, and he had been drinking, and that night he was steady calling my phone. This is Saturday night, calling. And I just didn't want to hear it because I've been hearing about it for over a week. Well, a couple of weeks when she kicked him out, then over a day. And it was like, I was kind of like, well, that's what you get, you know, kind of that attitude. Now, I'm only 21 too. He had to be, I think, he was like in his early 30s, you know. He was still young, you know, but, and, sorry, I had to take a break. My son's father's sister, so let's say it would have been my sister-in-law, calls me, and she says, hey, did you hear about Melvin? This was the next morning, so this would be Sunday morning, probably like 8 in the morning, something like that. And I go, no, what? What is he, drunk or, you know? And after he beat the daughter's father up and stuff, when the daughter had came home because she was out with her friends or something like that, she was mad, and she wanted to confront her stepdad and also see if he was okay. And she goes over there and found him. He took a cable wire and he hung himself. And he left a note in his pocket. So the 14-year-old girl is the one who found her. And she looked at him as a father. And for many, 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 many years, still to this day, I don't forgive myself, but it was even harder then. Because I kept thinking, if I would have just talked to him that night, if I wouldn't have been so selfish or had him come over, maybe that would not have happened. But I was being so selfish, like, oh my God, I knew he was drinking. When you're drinking or drugging, I don't think he was doing any drugs, but you know, your mind is not clear and you're thinking about all the stuff and you're very emotional, right? And he just couldn't live without her. I mean, and for his daughter to find him, that's even more terrible. But I truly believe in my heart he did that to hurt his wife back even more. Like, see what you made me do? It was like a tit for tat. And I also believe he was so upset, he just upset too, you know? From that day on, I vowed that if any of my friends was going through things, I would always check on them. I can talk about it now, but for many, many years, I could not talk about it. I felt the guilt. Now, Melvin's family blamed the wife because they said the wife didn't do that. He wouldn't have done that. And they disowned her. You know, a lot of the family wanted to fight her, you know, but, you know, what have you? I'm sharing this story not for anybody to feel bad or to trigger anybody that this has happened in your family, to show you how just a phone call, just listening to somebody, right? I knew what he was going through, but I don't know. All right, I'm going to get off of that and keep working. Let me go with a smaller brush. I'm trying to use smaller brushes because I use bigger brushes, and then what happens is because I'm aging, and as I'm aging, my eyes seem like they're getting smaller and more hooded. I don't know. And then when I clean it up, it's like, I don't know. So I got to learn, like, I got to keep telling myself, they're too big for you, Ann. Get your mind out of the gutter. Okay. So I want to share, so like when I say like about depression and different things like that, the reason why, like, you know, you hear people say, like with Melvin, why would he do that? Why? I mean, you know, or think about these other people that we think they have it all, like Robin Williams. You look at him like he had all this money. He had a wife. He has all this success. You have all this money. You can pay your bills. There's nothing to stress about. Why are they depressed? Mental health doesn't care who you are, doesn't care about your status, doesn't care about how much money you have. They don't care what you look like. They don't care anything. It's kind of like a bullet. A bullet has no name on it, right? You know, you're in a crowd and there's people shooting. You know what I'm saying? You're not safe, right? So this lady, this young lady, oh my God, you know, she's Miss USA. She's beautiful. She was only 30 years old. She had her whole life ahead of her. And people just thought she was always in a good mood, always happy. But you never know what demons or what people are going through. I mean, when a couple years ago, you guys mostly know what I was going through with my mom dying, my grandma dying, what happened with my daughter, everything in a year. I was separated from my husband. This was all going on. I cried myself to sleep almost every night. And then I would get up and film and act like I was such a good actress. I would act like everything was okay, make my little perverted jokes, put my money glasses on, but I was hurting. And most of you guys know I'm a recovering addict. You know, alcohol was my choice of drug, and then I would go for other things, but it was mainly alcohol. I really thought, I'm getting nervous. I dropped my brush. Hold the phone. But I wanted to drink. Now, I did not, but I wanted to, right? It's like the devil I was like, let's go ahead and have a beer. You'll be fine. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's my point. You never know. There was a time that, now I'm going to talk about me, trigger warning here. This is when I was doing things I shouldn't be doing. I would have a few beers, probably about 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 beers, because I was the type, I could drink a 30-pack of beers, Coors Light, by myself. And at that time, I was like 120, 125 pounds soaking wet, okay? And I'm only 5'3" and 3/4. So, I mean, I'm drinking 30 beers by myself, and then sometimes I still want more. I would drink it till I could black out. I was one of those drunks, okay? So then when I felt a buzz, I wanted more of a high, and I would do harder stuff, okay? Well, my kids were at my mom's house and stuff, and this is when I was still trying to quit, but I didn't quit yet. And I remember I had no more stuff, okay? All the beer was gone. I had no more other stuff. It was like 5:30 in the morning. Everybody was sleeping, and that's when most addicts know when you start fiending and you want more. You're going through that stage, right? So I was like, I felt so guilty. I mean, I probably spent over $400 or $500 that night. And I felt so guilty what I was doing. I'm like, fuck, how am I going to pay my rent? This is when I lived in the projects, okay? Me and my husband weren't even together at the time. You know, I spent all my rent money, you know, and I'm like, what am I going to do? You know, it's like, because when you're going through that, when you're an addict, you're like, okay, let me get another hit. I'll get another hit. That's all right. I'll find the money. The devil's in you. Like, oh, well, you'll find the money. You still have a whole month. You still have to the 15th before it's late, you know? It's okay. So I didn't want to, something in my mind said, just take a whole bunch of pills and, you know, your kids will be better off without you. These are the voices that were in my head. They'll be better off without you. Maybe they're young enough to get adopted. Maybe somebody that has a little bit more, has a house. You know what I mean? And sure, they'll be upset if I'm gone, but they'll be in a better place. So I took a bunch of pills, like a bunch. And then I start getting scared. And I called my friend that lived like right across the street, right? And I told her what I did. She immediately comes over. She calls 911. They come. They had to put charcoal. If you ever know anybody that's ODing or whatever like that, they put the charcoal in your nose down to your stomach. And, I'm here. Then I even felt more guilty. I thought, my God, what the heck did I do? But what I'm saying is, you never know. And everybody thought like, oh my God, how do you stay so happy? And all this kind of stuff. People thought I had it going on. But deep down inside, I was suffering. Do you know what I'm saying? If my friends will say, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. How are you? I act like everything was great. If my cable was cut off, nobody would have known. If I didn't have that much food in the house and the kids could only eat peanut butter and jelly, nobody would have known. Oh, I'm fine. Do you know, I was one of those type of people. I had too much pride. Okay, I got to work and talk. I'm going to go in with this deeper. So I did use this because I'm not going to go with too many more colors. I'm going to go in here and then I'll just deepen it up and use like a shimmer shade. And I do apologize, like I said, if this is triggered to anybody, but I do think mental health needs to be talked about more. A lot of people don't talk about it. One, especially because they're scared YouTube will demonetize the video when it talks like this. There are a lot of times people, it's triggering, so they flag your video, and like I said, and so like, they don't talk about it. Or some people, they just don't want to talk about it, however the case may be. But I do think it needs to be talked about more. But anybody that is struggling, I want you to know there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Things will get better. It's only temporary. Trust and believe me, it's only temporary. And sometimes we think it's the end of the world, but you have to remember there's people that are always worse off than you. But you have to learn to pick up the phone and talk to somebody, call somebody. If you guys know somebody that's struggling, or even if they don't even show it, if they're going through a hard time, check up on them. Are you okay? Is everything okay? A lot of times now we use the text, right? You okay? But sometimes pick up the phone and call people. Nobody does that anymore. Go to their house. If you haven't heard from them 3 or 4 days, go to their house. I remember when I was at my deepest depression, I wouldn't talk to anybody for weeks, and I had kids. Not one person or family member or anybody came to my house to check on me. Me and my kid, we could all have been dead, anything. Nobody checked on me. They said, oh, Anne's going through her depression again. We'll hear from her eventually. Nobody did. And that's what we have to break that. And we have to break the stigma. Like, just because you think somebody has money, you never know. Just because they have a big house, you don't know how much in debt they have. You really don't know what they're going through. You look at these people on Instagram that are always dressed up and having these brand name bags and all this jewelry. How do you know it's really theirs? How do you know they're not renting it? How do you know these things, right? We don't know. And even if that's the truth, that doesn't mean they're happy. Material things don't make you happy. Look at Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star is worth like what, $400 or $500 million? If you look him up or Google him. But that doesn't mean he's happy. See, when I go through things, right? I especially 2, 3 in the morning, I buy, right? This is the shopping addiction, and I buy things. And as soon as it comes in, as soon as I look at it, swatch it, I'm depressed. Or you buy it, it's coming, and okay, so it only works for what? A day, a few days, an hour, right? It doesn't help, There's difference between being happy and joy. Joy is when you don't need these material things. You don't need none of that stuff to have joy, right? All right, I'm going to use a brush that I used to blend, and I'm going to go into these 3 shades, just like this. And then just a little bit deepen it up. Okay, now I just have to blend that out a little bit. You know, sometimes, and I use this so that I can get as much product off of here so I don't add anything else. I would have people, I just want to this, because sometimes even on YouTube, you know, people, they appear to have more things. Okay, so I'll give you an example. So I have a main channel, Just Ann, okay? And if you don't know, we're doing our 50K giveaway. Will be 10 winners. The giveaway will be over February 22nd. I will leave the link to that video down below in case you want to enter it. And, you know, I do a lot of subscription boxes. I'm really into mystery boxes and stuff like that. And I've had people like DM me on Instagram and say, you know, I would love to do that, but I don't have the money like you. You know what I mean? Or they think that I have more than what it appears to be. But you guys got to remember, when I do my videos, I also get paid from YouTube. I'm monetized. So I make the money back, right? So I'm not really out of anything. Now, not all the time, because I don't make that much on YouTube. Let's just be real. I mean, there's times I only make $30 on a video, okay? There are times that I just break even, like when I did my BoxyCharm videos, right? So let's just be real. I don't get a whole lot of money on YouTube. And, you know, so, you know, or people would leave comments like, how do you afford all those boxes? Or what does your husband say? A lot of them I get in PR too. A lot of them are sent to me free. And then when I do the unboxings, I'm just going to keep it real. Then I also get paid from YouTube from it. So it's kind of like a win-win, if that makes sense. I don't get a lot of PR because I'm a very honest person. Like BoxyCharm. There's a lot of people that say, you need to be more, stop so negative when you get it for free. I would love to get free BoxyCharm. But, you know, I'm the type of person, I know what it's like to struggle, guys. I know what it's like to count change, because sometimes it's cheaper to get a Happy Meal for your kids to eat at McDonald's than going and buying meat, potatoes, vegetables, and cooking dinner. Okay? I know what that's like. Okay? I was a single parent before I met my husband. I had 3 kids. 3 different men, let's be real. And they didn't pay child support. My oldest son's father paid child support. I got $150 a week, but I kind of like used it for my 3 kids. And do you know what I mean? I mean, my youngest son's father right now, my son is 17. He owes me over $60,000. He don't pay. He hasn't seen my son in years, right? So anyway, I didn't always have. And so I get it. The reason why I create that channel is for you guys, right? I don't want you guys to waste your money on buying a subscription box, especially now. A lot of people are struggling when it isn't that good just because I get it sent to me. Do you know what I mean? No, it's about you guys, not the brand, right? Okay, so let me go in, because I've been talking for almost 30 minutes now and I didn't even do an eye look. So I'm going to go in with these shades. I'll go in with this one first. This is like my favorite shimmer shade on this palette. It's like a peachy pink. And then I go in, like, put this on the, you'll see, and then put this like, all right, you'll see. So I'm going to put that on, I use my finger. I'm a fingerer. Then I take my eyelid and go up a little bit, since I have more hooded eyes, you know, like, so this part gets a little fatter that hangs over. So I have to do that and create like a fake crease, kind of like, you know. Okay, so what I usually do is, let me wipe my finger. It's a little too peachy pink for me for like this neutral look. So then I'll go in with this light shade. This is more like a light pink. And I will go over it. And I kind of create my own colors. I do that with every eye look. Even like with my lips, I create my own custom color all the time by using different shimmer shades and stuff. And then I'll go in with this shade here, if you can see. And this is more like a bronzy. And I'll kind of, a little bit right here to blend it. So then let's get a wipe. Now, this is why I say, like, I'm messy, right? So I don't care about that, because I go in with the wipe. Come on. And I take my finger, so my fingernail, and I get this part, but I go in and I take this and I kind of go up. So I kind of have that look that goes up like this. Now I'll have like makeup here and I just wipe that off, right? Then I do it here as well. Get this off. So again, I just go up. It's kind of like when people use that tape. I don't like to use the tape because I will be 46 this month. Not this month, in April, in a few months. This year, I meant to say. And so your eye, as you're aging, that skin there gets a lot thinner and just fragile, frail. So I don't like to do that. And I think this works the same. And that's how I get that look. So what I'm going to do is since I've been talking you to death, I'm going to do my full face, put my foundation on, do my blush, bronzer, all that stuff. And then I will come back and we'll finish up the under eyes and stuff like that. So, and we'll come in with a positive note, you know? All right, I'll be right back. All right, so I'm not finished doing my face, but I'm like, you know what? Why don't I do this on camera? Because I want to tell you a few things. I get asked a lot, like, how does my hair, like the baby hair, how do I do it like it stays? So I use this Murray's Edge Wax Hold. How much was this? $6.49. I don't know if I got this at Walmart or a beauty hair store. I mean, you guys can see. Look at the hair in there. But my daughter uses it too when she runs out of her stuff. And so I take a brush, pull some baby hairs out, do this, put some like the wax on, and I use this. This costs us $1. And I take this part and I just joop, 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 and it stays all day. So that's how I do that. Then, let me put this back. My hair might look a little wet because I put in this Verb Ghost Prep, and it's for frizz control, moisture, all of that. But I always keep a water bottle. This has water in here. And like right here. So I have like curly hair, right? So I just spray my fingers and I take my hair and I kind of like do this. And then it'll dry curly. This one here. I don't know what's going on with this one, but like with it, you'll see this will be curly by the end of the video. Okay, so I just want to tell you that I have this. I've been loving. I got this in Ipsy last month. This is the Honey Jarrett Lip Sleeping Mask, and I love this. It's almost like you can see. I'm almost done. So I just put. You only need a very little bit. Look at that. You see that? And I love it. Okay, because you gotta get your lips ready for lipstick and all that. But what I want to tell you, so I have been using this Cab Cosmetics volume 1. It's the contour thing. We got this in BoxyCharm. This is the powdered one, not the cream one. And when I bronze, I wish this was darker. I don't know if they have like a volume 2 that's darker or something like that, but I always go in with this shade, like here and here. And then I take my brush. But I do a fake contour. I am out of breath for some reason. So I will use this shade here and kind of go like this. Here, put powder in. And then I take my brush and I do it because I don't contour. I do the fake contour. So that's all I did. I still got to do my blush and highlighter. And I figured, why not do that on camera? So for the blush, I'm going to use the Juvia's Place. This is the light one. And put that on. Where's my brush? Always put the light right here, and I always put blush on my nose. I don't know why. And a little bit here, just to, then I blend it out. And then I go in both of these and do this number. And then I have this Cover Effects. I got this in BoxyCharm last month. Ooh, and I love it. I'll go in with these 2 shades. This is the only place I put highlighter at. Then I take my Dampen Beauty Blender, and I always do this. That way you don't have that streak, you know, it kind of like melts in your skin. All right, now I take a really big brush and I just blend my face up here. Okay. Then I go in with my Gerard Slay All Day. This is the one in watermelon. This is my favorite. I use this all the time. I love this. And I have a code with Gerard Cosmetics. It's JUSTANNE in all caps. Saves you 30%, but I love it. So what I do is, since I powdered my face, I'll spray. and then I spray my sponge. I go in, and then I just, you know, just to make sure any powder, you know, that way it kind of like doesn't make me look cakey, kind of like melts in my skin. And then I'll go in again with whatever's left over my highlighting brush and kind of do this. Yeah. Okay, so let me put everything away or get it out of here because I'm on this small desk, and then we'll finish the eye look and my lipstick. All right, so let's go back in with that Jaclyn Hill palette and do the under eye. So what do we want to do? Just take this like small detail brush, and I'm going to use these two colors right here. Blend them too. Make sure you always tap that out. But then I just go underneath, and I always go right here. You know where I did that wipe and I, you know, cleaned it up? But I always make sure it connects. So always touch that right here. Make sure it connects. And go in light, because you can always deepen it up. Because if you guys watch my videos on my first channel, sometimes I go a little deep. That's what he says. Okay, so I'm going to then go in with these two and kind of deepen it up a little bit. Okay. And then I'll take like this little detail brush. See how it's like a little, let's see, little angled like that. And I will take these three shades like this. And then I only go like not even halfway in, a quarter in, because if I go too deep, then I do that a lot, then my eyes tend to look smaller, right? Now I still got to put something in my waterline, and so then it'll look. You'll see. All right, so I'm going to, let me close this. I'm going to go in with the Juvia's Place. What in the world? Oh my God, I literally just dropped it. Oh my God, that went all the way underneath the desk. And it's like this royal blue shade. And right there, I'm gonna put that in my waterline. And if you guys can see how that blue really does brighten up your eye look, you know? All right, so I have to do mascara and then lipstick. So let's put my mascara on, because you guys know I am a hashtag natural lash type of gal. So let's get to work. Okay, so that's what my eyes look like, and with the mascara and stuff. Tomorrow, today's Saturday when I'm filming this, but tomorrow I'm going to do a get ready with, well, I'm going to get ready, and then I'm going to come on camera and try on lashes for the first time in different styles to see my first time putting on lashes, and then different styles to see what looks good on me, and then have you guys vote and let me know. So be ready. That's going to be a funny video. Okay, so I just have to do my lips. I'm using the Wayne Goss medium nude. Is that medium nude? Would you be? Yeah, medium nude. My favorite is from Gerard Cosmetics, but I got so many. I got to kind of like get out of my comfort zone and try using them up. I do like the Wayne Goss, but let me take some of this lip gloss off. And then you guys will see how when I tell you I do always a custom lip color, because I always put a whole bunch of different lipsticks on. Okay. This is actually about the color of my lips. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with some Wayne Goss ones and just kind of like custom do it. No specific order. I want to find like a little bit darker, but yeah, let me see if I can find a darker shade real quick. All right, I went in with a little bit darker lipstick. Usually because I go in with a darker lip liner, but because that lip liner was almost the same color as my lips, so, you know, that's what I usually do. I just put different lipsticks on. So let me get a pair of earrings, because, you know, I like my earrings, my hoops. Let's see what I got on. What am I gonna wear? Maybe just the silver ones, or let's see, maybe the black. Yeah, I'll put the black ones on. Something different. I also have, oh, where are you going? I also have these ones, but they're too dressy for this, for a hoodie. All right, so this was a long ass video, but I'm a talker. So like, I gotta learn to like talk and do my makeup at the same time. I'll get it. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to make this video, not for like a sad note or whatever, but just to kind of give a PSA or just remind you guys that, you know, sometimes check on people when you know they're going through a rough time or you haven't heard from them. Pick up the phone. Instead of all this texting, or if you, at the very least, text them. Go to them. Go over where they're at, you know, to their house. See if they're okay. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, let them know that you care. Because that goes a long way, especially when people are depressed. In their head, they think nobody cares. Right? So just let them know that you love them and that you care. So yeah. But anyway, let me know what you think of this Get Ready with me. Let me know down below, have you suffered from depression? And if you do, let everybody know in the comments, even myself, what do you do to help you? What I personally do is I listen to church, or I start reading a book, or I pick up my Bible. That's the truth. Spiritual is what like kind of helps me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But let me know what you do. Or gospel music. I love that too. But let me know what you do, you know? All right, I'm going to film my BoxyCharms. I got the premium and I got the base box. That will go up Sunday nights. I don't know when this will go up, but also make sure you have your post notification bell on so you'll see me trying to put lashes on for the first time. You want to get a good laugh. All right, guys, please like this video. It really does help me out. And the more likes I get, I know that you like these Get Readies with me. And yeah, that's everything. Don't forget, I do have that 50K giveaway going on the other channel. I will leave that link down below. And I'm going to be quiet and start my unboxing. All right, guys, stay beautiful, stay blessed, stay healthy, and most importantly, always stay you. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.